Welcome back, everyone, to episode 2 of Let's Play Skyrim. Before we continue our Dovahkiin's journey too far here, I do just want to take a moment to remind you that if you do like my videos, please go ahead and hit that like button to show your support. It really helps me out to know that you are liking the content I'm creating. And of course, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my new content that I make and you know when it's coming out. Alright, so let's continue on with our heroine's story here. So last episode we escaped death a couple times. We escaped it when we were about to be executed, and we also escaped it by, escaping a dragon. And then we were also attempted to be murdered by a few Imperials for escaping, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, we managed to get out with our lives a few times in a couple different aspects. And now we are headed to Riverwood to get some aid from Raylof's sister. Okay, now this is part of our survival mode of Skyrim. So fatigue. You are tired, which reduces your total available magicka, represented by a dark region in the magicka bar. Fatigue also decreases the how quickly you recover, magicka and stamina, and the effectiveness of potions. Sleep in a bed to reduce your fatigue. Sleeping indoors allows for more restful sleep than sleeping outdoors. Alright, so the survival mode really does encompass a lot. We need to, we need to sleep, we need to eat, we need to make sure that we are, not cold or too hot. I don't think being too hot should be an issue in Skyrim, but still. Alright, so we've arrived at the Guardian Stones where we are able to pick a sign to increase a certain skill so we can learn it quicker. So we have the Warrior Stone, the Mage Stone, and the Thief Stone. Now, we are focusing on Freya being a heavily sneak character, an individual, so we're going to go ahead and do the Thief Stone. So, under the sign of the Thief, we'll learn stealth skills 20% faster. And it says we can only have one blessing at a time. Alright, so we've added the Thief Stone, and now we should hopefully learn our sneak and be able to progress those skills just a little bit faster. Bleak Falls Barrow there in the distance. Alright, well, let's head to Riverwood. I think I'm going to go ahead and fast travel through this bit so you don't have to watch us walking. Alright, and we have arrived at Riverwood.
A dragon! I saw a dragon!
What? What is it now, Mother?
It was as big as the mountain and black as night. It flew right over the barrel.
Dragons now, is it? Please, Mother. If you keep on like this, everyone in town will think you're crazy. And I've got better things to do than listen to more of your fantasies.
You'll see. It
That's
was
fun.
a dragon. It'll kill us all and then you'll believe me.
It'll be a little hard to believe you if he's dead.
Did I see you talking to Sven? Maybe not. Maybe... Never mind. But I would stay away from him if I were you.
Alright, so we've already got some drama going on here in Riverwood. Nothing like it.
I need your help with something.
What is it, woman? Sven drunk on the job again?
Pod, just come here.
Raylo, what are you doing here? Huh. I'll be right down.
Alright. It looks like we probably missed the first bit of them catching up, but I don't think we missed too much. And besides, we feel a little awkward anyways. You know, Freya doesn't know these people. She doesn't even know this land, really.
Hush, Frodnar. This is no time for your games. Go and watch the South Road. Come find us if you see any Imperial soldiers coming.
stay in touch with Uncle Rayla.
Look at you. Almost a grown man. Won't be long before you'll be joining the fight yourself.
That's right. Don't worry, Uncle Rayla. I won't let those soldiers sneak up on you.
Now, Rayla, what's going on? You two look pretty well done in. I can't remember when I last slept. Where to start? Well, the news you heard about Ulfric was true. The Imperials ambushed us outside Darkwater Crossing. Like they knew exactly where we'd be. That was 2 days ago now. We stopped in Helgen this morning, and I thought it was all over. Had us lined up to the headsman's block and ready to start chopping.
The cowards.
They wouldn't dare give Ulfric a fair trial. Treason for fighting for your own people. All of Skyrim would have seen the truth then. But then, out of nowhere, a dragon attacked.
You don't mean a real, live...
I can hardly believe it myself. And I was there. As strange as it sounds, we'd be dead if not for that dragon. In the confusion, we managed to slip away. Are we really the first to make it to Riverwood?
Nobody else has come up the South Road today, as far as I know.
Good. Maybe we can lay up for a while. I hate to put your family in danger, Gerda, but...
Nonsense. You and your friend are welcome to stay here as long as you need to. Let me worry about the Imperials. Any friend of Raylov's is a friend of mine. Here's the key to the house. Stay as long as you like. If there is anything else you need, just let me know.
Okay, we are gonna go ahead and take probably everything she has. We're just gonna take that because it's valuable. We'll leave the wine though.
There is something you could do for me. For all of us here. The Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose. Riverwood is defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever troops he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt.
Alright.
I knew we could count on you.
I ought to get back to work before I missed, but did anyone else escape? Did Ulfric?
Don't worry. I'm sure he made it out. It will take more than a dragon to stop Ulfric's Stormcloak. I'll let them into the house and, show them where everything is.
Help them drink up our meal, you mean? Good luck, brother. I'll see you later.
Don't worry about me. I know how to lay low.
Alright, well, we already have a key, so let's head over to their house ourselves. We've definitely taken some hits to our stamina and our magicka, so we probably need to sleep and eat some food before we can really even think about doing much. Now, because I'm trying to make this, I would say, a little more of an authentic playthrough in regards to the character, we're not going to obviously just be bouncing from city to city aimlessly. We are playing in survival mode, so it'll be ideal for us to kind of take one town and do everything we can do in that town first before moving on to another town. So with that being said, we're going to try and do everything in Riverwood that we can before we necessarily move on to Whiterun, which should be fairly easy considering Riverwood isn't a big place. But I guess that'll depend, town by town as to how many quests or not they have. But hopefully that'll keep us from having to do a lot of traveling that's kind of unnecessary, perhaps. Freya isn't afraid to walk around and get her exercise in, but we also want to keep it a little more realistic now that we're not just aimlessly
I told you my sister was
traveling.
on
Yes, you were right.
You should go to Windhelm and join the fight to free Skyrim. You've seen the true face of the Empire here today. If anyone will know what the coming of the dragon means, it's Ulfric.
You really think I should join up with Ulfric Stormcloak?
Damn right. Just like all true sons of Skyrim should. You should come to Windhelm with me and join the fight to free Skyrim. You've seen the true face of the Empire here today. If anyone will know what the coming of the dragon means, it's Ulfric.
You think Ulfric knows where that dragon came from?
Well, maybe not. Dragons haven't been seen in Skyrim for an age or more. But wherever that dragon came from, and whatever it wants, Ulfric will get to the bottom of it. You can count on that. Besides, you have your own score to settle with the Empire now. And with that dragon.
I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, sure, I understand. No need to decide now. But I know that after you think about what you saw today, you'll realize that Skyrim deserves to be free.
So, I do kind of want to follow along and take a moment to think before we choose Imperial versus Nord, or the Stormcloaks, because I tend to just, play the game and make instinct choices, and I feel like this playthrough I really want to make sure that we are basing our actions based off the story that is being told. I'm gonna admit, sometimes I'm guilty of not listening to what every character has to say, and I just kind of jump and do, and I skip through conversations a bit. I'm sure I'm not the only one guilty of that, but this time I want to go ahead and take a minute to actually hear what people are saying and what the story being told really is. And of course, it'll also be influenced by our character that we have established here, Freya. She is a Nord, so she is going to have bias towards supporting Nords. However, that doesn't mean she's going to blindly follow them, just because, although she is a Nord and that's important to her, she really didn't grow up a Nord too much. She lived her majority of her life in Elsewhere, and then she spent time in Cyrodiil with Imperials and everything. So I feel like if we're really going to take in, this whole character that we created, we kind of have a lot of aspects to take in. All right, so in survival mode, the only way you are able to level up is if you go to bed, and when you wake up, you're able to level up. So now we have the opportunity to do that because we did gain a level up during our escape of Helgen. So leveling up. When your level increases, you must choose to increase your health, magicka, or stamina. You can also select a new perk at this time or save it for later. Available perks are highlighted in each constellation. All right. So I think we're going to go ahead and level up our stamina since we are using a sword. Primarily, we're going to need a high stamina as much as we can get to be able to do those power attacks and just general use of our sword. Our sneak is pretty low. Let's go ahead. We have already reiterated that Freya is going to be a stealth character primarily, so we'll put our first point into that. Alright, so we've awakened feeling well rested, but obviously we are hungry. We stole some food. Well, we didn't really steal it. It was available to us, but let's go ahead and see what we can make in the cooking pot. It's going to be a lot better for us to cook versus, just eating raw food, because the cooking will give you more, it'll satisfy your hunger better. So, cooking. Cooking pots allow you to cook food that restores your health or provides other temporary effects. Each recipe requires specific culinary ingredients. Oh, wait a minute, it's not over. Culinary ingredients that can be found throughout Skyrim. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look at what we can make. So we have apple cabbage stew. It restores 15 points of stamina and 10 points of health, and it restores 380 points of hunger. Which it looks like we can only make one of those, so... Alright, so we have 10 points, and 380. I'm just taking a look to make sure that we're basically making food that will give us the best, you know, kind of stats, essentially. 5. Okay, that's... Alright, well, it looks like the best option to make in regards to restoring health, stamina, and hunger is apple cabbage stew, which we can only make one of, so... cabbage potato soup is good. Cabbage soup. But you know what? I think just potato soup, yeah, it pretty much does the same thing and it only uses potatoes. So let's go ahead and make this. Because then we're not wasting cabbage when technically the potato soup, you know, like the potato cabbage soup would, it just requires more resources really, and it doesn't do anything additional for us. Alright, so we've made some soup. Let's go ahead and eat. We'll save that in case we need it during a fight. Let's go ahead and eat some cheese. Where's the wheel? Yeah, let's eat the wheel. I just also want to make sure we don't... I have a tendency to hoard cheese, and that stuff actually starts weighing you down pretty quickly, so let's make sure we don't keep too many of those. Alright, and then where was our potato soup? Alright, you are well fed. Awesome. Alright guys, well, we have rested, we have eaten. I think it's about time we head out into Skyrim. And it's the middle of the night, alright. What time is it? Let's go ahead. It's 2:20 a.m. We probably should have slept longer in hindsight. What do we want to do? Let's go ahead and... Let's go and sleep again.
Can I help you?
There's really not much we can do at this point. So we'll just go ahead and rest. Okay. And knowing my luck, we're probably hungry again. Well, it's not complaining about being hungry, so we'll take it. Alright, there we go. It's daytime. Let's see what we can do today. I think we're probably not going to get too far. We are going to talk to the people in Riverwood and see, you know, what, if anything, we're able to do for them, with them, and just
Ain't every day we get visitors in Riverwood.
get more of the story going.
Whatever you need. Buy ye smear if it's simple and strong. I can forge it.
What can you tell me about Riverwood?
Gerder's family first settled here as woodcutters a few generations ago. She and Hod run the mill. I make a decent living sharpening axes and fixing the sawmill.
Right. Can I use your forge?
I see no harm in it, if you have the skill. The grindstone will improve your weapons. Use the table to improve your armor. If you've got the raw materials, you can use the forge to make something new.
Alright, we're not gonna go ahead and ask him that because we just don't need to. Alright, let's see. I believe this was Hilda.
Nobody believes me, but I tell you, I saw a dragon.
Alright, well she doesn't have much to say. Let's go ahead and go to the Riverwood Trader.
Well, one of us has to do something.
I said no. No adventures, no theatrics, no thief chasing.
Well, what are you going to do then, huh? Let's hear it.
We are done talking about this. Oh, a customer. Sorry you had to hear that. Yeah, well, I don't know what you overheard, but the Riverwood Trader is still open. Feel free to shop.
Did something happen?
Yeah, we did have a bit of a break-in, but we still have plenty to sell. Robbers were only after one thing. An ornament. Solid gold in the shape of a dragon's claw.
I could help you get the claw back.
You could? I've got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back. Now, if you're going to get those thieves, you should head to Bleak Falls Barrow, northeast of town. Yes. So now you don't have to go, do you?
Oh, really? Well, I think your new helper here needs a guide.
No, By
I'm
the
okay.
eight, fine. But only to the edge of town.
I mean, I wanted to talk to you more anyways.
The sooner you find the claw, the sooner our lives can get back to normal.
What have you got for sale?
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
Barter. Items above the divider line belong to the vendor. Items below the line belong to you. To buy or sell an item, select it and press E. Alright, thank you for explaining that to me. I did not know. Alright, let's go ahead. We're gonna sell our war axe. We need to make sure our weight doesn't get too out of control because we don't really have a homestead yet to sell or to store stuff in. So yeah, we want to make sure we're not too overloaded. We're going to keep most of our food though. Ingredients, books. I'm not going to sell that just because she's definitely not going to be in destruction magic. I have thought that she might in Skyrim decide to dabble in illusion perhaps. However, I do like having the spell tome books in my player homes, and of course Freya as well finds them very interesting even if she doesn't partake in that field of magic. It'll probably be something we sell at some point when we're desperate for weight, but right now we're okay, so we'll leave it. And let's go ahead and we're gonna sell the bear pelt. I know at some point we will, need hide to craft weapons, but right now that's not a priority and we should be able to, gain plenty of pelt in the future. Okay, and then let's see maybe what he has. If there's anything he's got a lockpick for 6 coin though. That's not worth it. Okay, so we've received our first quest from Riverwood, which is to retrieve the golden claw.
Across the bridge to get to Bleak Falls Barrow. You can see it from here, though. The mountain just over the buildings.
Okay, I mean...
Those thieves must be mad hiding out there. Those old crypts are filled with nothing but traps, trolls, and who knows what else. This way.
Well, thank you for your assistance, but I'm okay.
You're kind of fuzzy. What's wrong with you?
I don't know what's wrong with me. Let's check the inn. It's always a good place to look at and see what's going on.
Orgnar, are you listening?
Hard not to.
The ale is going bad. We need to get a new batch. Did you hear me?
Yep, ale's going bad.
I guess you don't have potatoes in your ears after all. Just make sure we get a fresh batch in soon.
Need a room? Talk to Delphine.
I'm looking for work. Got any leads?
Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter.
Alright, so we have a bounty. However, this is more so a Whiterun quest since it's for the Jarl, and their Jarl is the Jarl of Whiterun. Heard any rumors lately?
There have been whispers. A boy up in Windhelm, name of Aventus Aretino, been trying to contact the Dark Brotherhood.
Ah, well, we won't be going to Windhelm probably for a little while, so that likely won't be something we do anytime too soon. We're not worried about learning more magic right now. We already heard one rumor. We aren't interested in selling anything. However, we are interested in doing alchemy. Freya on her journey home, she spent a lot of time in the wilds and traveling out on the road by herself, and she had to get a little resourceful. So alchemy is something she will be continuing to learn about.
Long as you clean up, you know how to use it, right? Mix a couple of ingredients together, see what happens. A little wheat and blisterwort makes a healing potion, if you didn't know. We have plenty of ingredients for sale, too.
Of course you do. Alright, we will leave that at that for now.
You're that visitor been poking around.
Heard any rumors lately?
Word is Ulfric Stormcloak escaped from the Imperials. War's only going to get worse now.
Great.
We got rooms and food. Drink, too. I cook. Ain't much else to tell.
Faendal thinks he can woo Camilla Valerius away from me. She's already mine, I keep telling him.
You and Faendal both like the same girl?
Camilla Valerius knows I'm the best man in Riverwood. That elf is kidding himself if he thinks she would choose him over me. I've seen him sneaking over to the Riverwood trader to speak with her when I'm not around. He's wasting his time.
Yes, two people spending time together never blossoms into courtship.
Is that sarcasm? I've heard better wisecracks from Orgnar. Still, you have a point. Camilla letting Faendal visit her isn't a good thing for me. Here, let me give you a particularly venomous letter. Say it's from Faendal. That should get Camilla to stop inviting the elf over.
We don't really want to talk to Sven anymore. From what we've gathered in the town, he's a drunk, according to Hod, and he's rude to his mother, which is never a good sign. So let's go ahead and see what we can do about this. Tell Faendal about Sven's letter, deliver Sven's letter to Camilla. Let's see what options we have. That's Faendal over there. But let's see what options we have with Camilla. If we can just tell her the truth.
You're not from around here. That makes two of us.
Sven wanted to trick you into believing this letter was from Faendal.
What are you talking about? What's in the letter? Oh my. He wanted me to think Faendal wrote this? Thank you for telling me the truth. Could you talk to Faendal as well? I'm sure he'll want to thank you for standing up for him. Good luck. Lucan and I will be waiting for you back in the shop.
Okay. Yeah. Freya definitely wouldn't put up with any of Sven's tricks. She's had enough bad experiences with men and isn't about to put up with more. So, she doesn't like playing games in that regard. Other games, perhaps, but not that one. Oh, okay, cool. We're swimming.
Riverwood's agreeable enough, I suppose, for a Nord village.
I don't think Camilla will be spending any more time with Sven.
I appreciate your help. Please, take this. Some gold I've saved up from working at the mill.
Alright, thank you. And now we have Faendal as a follower. That's cool. Okay.
Alright then.
Let's see what else, if anything, we have available to us. Here's Gerda.
I'm glad.
Girder.
A fine day to you, friend. May you die with a sword in your hands.
What can you tell me about the Jarl?
Jarl Balgruf? I don't mean to be disrespectful, as he's ruled Whiterun Hold well for years, but he seems in over his head now. He's been trying to stay out of the war, but it can't last. He's going to have to pick a side. I'm afraid he's going to make the wrong choice.
Why? Is he loyal to the Empire?
I wouldn't say that. But he and Ulfric have been at odds for years, and I'm afraid Balgruf will end up siding with the Empire because of it. But it's hard to believe that even Balgruf would choose Elisif over Ulfric.
You support the Stormcloaks, then?
Of course. Ulfric's cause is just. It's time for Skyrim to rid itself of the Empire. The Empire may have been good for Skyrim once upon a time, but those days are long past. Banning the worship of Talos was the last straw. Thalmor everywhere, dragging people off for honoring our own gods. I'm glad Ralof is helping drive them out of here. If I was a bit younger, I might have joined the fight myself.
Who's Elisif?
I suppose she's Jarl Elisif now. She married High King Turig just before Ulfric killed him. The Empire supports her claim to be High Queen. I don't really have anything against her. Not her fault that her husband Turig was bought and paid for by the Empire. But she's nothing but a puppet for the Empire now, with her husband Turig dead. Ulfric will make sure she never takes the throne as High Queen.
Ulfric killed the High King?
Some say murdered, but it was a lawful challenge in the old way. Ulfric called him out as a traitor to Skyrim and killed him in single combat. If Turig couldn't defend his throne, he had no business being High King.
So there's no High King now?
No, not until the Moot meets to choose another, and it won't meet until one side or the other wins the war. Don't worry, though. Ulfric is our rightful High King. He'll drive out the Empire, and Skyrim will have peace at last.
What can you tell me about Riverwood?
It's my mill. Some folks thinks it's my town, too, but it ain't. The Jarl in Whiterun owns the land and the town. I just pay the taxes.
Oh. Is there somewhere I can buy fresh supplies?
And by supplies, I suppose you mean weapons and armor? Alvor can help you out. He's our blacksmith.
How do I get to Whiterun from here?
Cross the river and then head north. You'll see Whiterun on its hill as you pass the falls.
Alright, and we've already raided her quite enough, so I don't think we'll do that anymore. Okay, I don't know if we have too many more people to talk to. Is Hot up there? It doesn't look like it. Let's do a quick perusal though. We don't want to miss anybody. Let's also check our active effects. Yeah, we're feeling hungry. So let's go ahead and have a quick bite. All this Let's Play is going to be is really me eating, just so you know. Ah, Embry.
Out of my way, stranger.
Oh, that's not nice. Very rude. Okay, I think we've talked to pretty much everybody. We talked to Hilda, we talked to Sven, he's a loser, we don't like him. Whose house is this? That's Feindal's house. We've talked to him. I don't think there will be any more to do there. Yeah, so I think we might... Who is this over here?
You're
Secret.
pretty, I'll give you that. Just stay away from my husband, Alvar.
Oh, okay. So that's the blacksmith's wife. Maybe that's what we'll go ahead and do. We'll head over to the blacksmith and we'll do the little quest for him,
yes?
Where he shows us how to do smithing. And then I think that will be the end of this episode. We've talked to everybody in Riverwood, made our way here, learned a little more about surviving.
You looking for a new blade?
Need any help around the forge?
Yes, actually. How about you smith me an iron dagger? Here's everything you need to make one. Go ahead. Good day.
Okay, blacksmith forges. The blacksmith forge is used to create new weapons and armor from raw materials. Alright, so iron dagger. Yes.
Not too shabby. Apprentice level work, but solid.
Here's an
is
iron dagger.
Not bad, but it's a little dull. How about you sharpen it up? Just need a bit of metal and the grindstone over there. All right then.
Okay, grindstones. Use the grindstone to improve weapons. All improvements require specific materials which you can buy or find in the world. Alright, so let's go ahead and make a fine iron dagger. Okay.
You the sneaky type? Got some nice daggers around here somewhere.
We are the sneaky type. I've sharpened the iron dagger.
This looks good. You put time into your blades. They'll serve you well when you need them. You want to keep helping? How about you make some armor? Let's start by tanning some leather on the rack.
Okay.
All right, then.
Tanning racks. The tanning rack is used to turn animal hides to leather and to cut leather into strips. Both leather and leather strips are used in creating and improving weapons and armor. Okay, so we can make some leather. We don't want to make it into leather strips, though.
Yes?
Here's that leather you wanted.
Ah, good. A lot of weapons and armor need leather for straps, fittings, that kind of thing. Let's see if you can make a hide helmet. Here's the rest of what you need. Good day.
Okay, hide helmet.
You looking for a new blade?
Here's a hide helmet.
Huh. I should hire you to be my assistant at this rate. Let's improve the fit. Take this leather to the workbench over there. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Workbenches. Use workbenches to improve armor. All improvements require materials. The amount of improvement depends on your smithing skill. Alright, so let's go ahead and make a fine hide helmet.
Yeah?
I've tempered the hide helmet.
You have talent. Keep working at your craft, and you'll be a fine smith one day. Why don't you keep that dagger and helmet? Maybe you'll remember me when you're making Skyforge steel, huh?
Perhaps I will.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's go ahead and equip what we've made here. So we have a hide helmet. Let's also equip our shield. And as far as the dagger, we will go ahead and favorite that as well. Alright guys, well this is going to be the end of our second episode. Next episode we are going to head for Bleak Falls Barrow there in the distance. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to like the video, and of course if you're new here, please go ahead and perhaps subscribe so you can stay in the loop on all of my future content. That'll be it until next time, and see you around.